is Pierce Griffin, and this is my discussion on cultural relativism. The unusual tradition that I have chosen that is performed by Hindu and Muslim families in rural India is called baby tossing or baby dropping. This happens when the baby is dropped 30 feet from a shrine rooftop and the baby is caught in the bedsheet below. This ritual goes back more than 700 years, and parents participate in this practice because they are promised a healthy baby with no delivery complications. They were also promised that the child will have good luck and a long life. By 2010, this practice became illegal by the National Commissions for Protection of Child Rights. This tradition relates to cultural relativism because compared to societal standards and American culture, the tradition of dropping a baby 30 feet into a bedsheet from a shrine rooftop would be seen as careless, dangerous, and unpopular. What this tradition showed us about cultural descriptive relativism is by providing a perspective on unusual practices like the baby dropping, and it sheds light on practices that still exist to this day and has a great amount of importance within their Hindu and Muslim culture. It also gives us perspective to understand the practice that is a part of the community's traditions. This tradition also shows us normative cultural relativism, and it does this by suggesting that this practice is morally right for the people who believes in the spiritual benefits. Cultural relativism creates an understanding and respect for this tradition by looking at this practice within the respective cultural system. My thoughts on cultural relativism is based on my inductive argument. I think that cultural practices varies and are deeply rooted in historical legends and stories. It also gives an understanding and respect for these practices within the culture. But absolute normative cultural relativism makes it hard to critique practices that can cause harm like this ritual because of our ideas or opinions on what is viewed as morally right and morally wrong. So it creates a sort of a bias towards it. And we won't be able to fully view or understand the purpose of the ritual or the importance of the ritual. And a social contract is an agreement among people with moral or political obligations to form a society in which they live. This practice has brought parents peace and safety based on their religious beliefs. Based on historical outcomes, parents believe this tradition will help them have a healthy baby and their God will protect the child from harm, as promised. Parents thought that baby tossing was rational and that it would be successful regarding their child's health. In 2010, there was a cultural shift since parents were warned of the dangers for their child's psyche to perform or practice this ritual. This is how applying cultural relativism can create a perspective and understanding about different traditions and different cultures. This is it. This is my discussion, and thank you for listening.